This week on WestfordCAT News, voters wrapped up special town meeting in a day. A new amenities building for the Trustees Field at Westford Academy won approval, and food inspector Arnie Price got a special recognition.
It's a pretty prestigious award, and it goes to show the amount of work and dedication that Arnie has put into public health and working in the town of Westford.
I'm Joyce Polino Crane. Stay tuned. WestfordCAT News is next. Under a blue sky, cool temperatures, and occasional winds, special town meeting opened on October 19th at 9 a.m. By 4 p.m., all articles had been acted upon and the meeting ended. Hot button topics included the following. Article 5, that the town appropriate $1,344,152 in community preservation funds to build a new amenities building at the Westford Academy Trustees Field. Finance Director Dan O'Donnell presented several options for funding the construction of the building, including this.
The Community Preservation Committee, Board of Selectmen, Finance Committee, and School Committee all voted unanimously to support funding the WA amenities building using CPA funds. Doing so will have no impact on the tax rate. We're estimating conservatively that a 10-year bond at a 4% interest cost will cost about $164,000 per year. Currently, the community preservation has bonding capacity of over $1 million. So if there is another major open space purchase or affordable housing project that an application is presented to the CPA, they do have capacity to bond for additional major projects.
Ellen Hardy, 39 Main Street. And as I did at the June annual town meeting, I speak in opposition to this, not to the building. You'll have an opportunity to fund that under Article 6. I continue to oppose funding it from community preservation funds. Ingrid is absolutely correct, as is Andrea. We do have the right to spend our CP money on this. But like Ingrid, I was at the town meeting that adopted the CPA 3% tax. And at that time, we were told that the parameters were for open space, recreation fields, housing, and historical preservation. It has changed. There have been 11 amendments. But when I voted on it, that's what I perceived CPA to be for. And I still perceive it for that. I do not see it for a building that has bathrooms in it here or anywhere else in the town of Westford.
The article was approved. Article 11, Dr. Chaitanya Hiremath presented a citizen petition in which he sought to have the second Monday in October be commemorated as Indigenous Peoples Day in Westford. The petition sparked a feisty debate as to whether Christopher Columbus, for whom the day is named, brutally killed Indigenous people or bravely sailed the seas. Dr. Chaitanya Hiremath presented a citizen petition in which he sought to have the second Monday in October be commemorated as Indigenous Peoples Day in Westford. The petition sparked a feisty debate as to whether Christopher Columbus, for whom the day is named, brutally killed Indigenous people or bravely sailed the seas.
Indigenous Peoples Day is a holiday that celebrates and honors Native American peoples and commemorates their histories and cultures. Christopher Columbus did not discover America. Today, let's remember and celebrate the peoples who are here first. Christopher Columbus started his journey to find India in 1492, but he ended up in the Caribbean shores, meeting what he presumed to be Indians.
Resident Bianca Rose was just one of several who objected to Hiremath's portrayal of the explorer.
It just took me a few minutes and a little research to figure out that Columbus was a morally sound person. He was a devout Catholic. He had unshakable faith and determination. He was against slavery and harming of the native population. Many entries in his diaries speak to his insistence on treating the natives in a friendly, kind, and respectful manner, and simply trade with them and gain knowledge of the land. Columbus was not perfect, but he was hardly the monstrous person being used to assassinate his holiday. He was a prolific navigator, and he deserves this day to commemorate his extraordinary achievement, which ultimately led to our first chapter of history as the United States of America.
Article 11 was denied. The historic house at 63 Main Street was the subject of Article 24 and what to do with the 3-acre property purchased by the town in 2018 after fire gutted the attic in 2016, transforming a unique 3-story structure into a 2-story shambles. The results of a task force survey conducted last year showed that 54.2% of the respondents wanted the house sold as a single-family dwelling with a historic restriction. Selectmen said they wanted to consider other uses for the building.
So several voters, led by myself, but it wasn't easy to find a gathering, decided to take the initiative to bring it to you, to town meeting. And that is how Article 24 got on the warrant today, and we ask you to vote yes. The Select Board opposes this motion because they want to keep the town's options open. Specifically, they've discussed school administration offices or other town departments in beautiful 63 Main Street. These are exactly the options that the petitioners do not want pursued. Nor did those of you responding to the 63 Main Street Task Force survey. Only 34% voted for school administration offices there, and actually 45% marked disagree or strongly disagree with that option. And as for the option for town offices, over 50% marked disagree. Consider, too, that as we sit here this afternoon, the town has no plans, no permits, and no appropriation of money from this body to undertake any option that was presented for 63 Main Street other than to sell it.
The petition was approved by a 2/3 majority. By the way, this was town moderator Angela Harkness's first town meeting since she was elected in May. Watch the entire special town meeting video at WestfordCAT.org. Town Clerk Patty Doobie reports that she has received about 8,000 applications for early voting ballots for the November 3rd election. Voting began on October 17th and will continue through Friday, October 30th at the former Westford Fire Station at 51 Main Street. Completed mailed ballots must be postmarked by 8 p.m. on November 3rd. Doobie said her office is providing limited service while the ballots and applications continue to arrive at Town Hall. Westford Food Inspector Arnie Price was recently named the 2020 recipient of the Mental Health Organization of America Michael D. Sirocco Award. Here's Health Director Jeff Stevens.
It's a pretty prestigious award, and it goes to show the amount of work and dedication that Arnie has put into public health and working in the town of Westford over the past year. Some of the things this award exemplifies are the qualities of leadership, loyalty, friendship, enthusiasm, all in public health. And we're all very proud of him. He's done a great job and can't wait to see what he does next.
Sirocco was instrumental in the formation of the Massachusetts Board of Certification of Health Officers and was appointed by the governor to serve on that board for 8 years. Operating a restaurant in the current economic climate is not for the faint of heart. John Ramthun, who purchased the Westford subway shop 3 years ago, says every venturer, every risk taker needs a cheerleader for support. I took some time to engage him in a Zoom interview on October 15th to see how he's doing at the Westford Valley Marketplace in the face of a pandemic and several empty storefronts. Here's Ramthun remarking on the management company for the Westford Valley Marketplace.
So, I mean, they're really working hard to try to get the space filled and just to be the exclusive or, you know, a premier place. You got Cornerstone right across the street, which is where the Market Basket went. And
Right.
one of the things that really interested me, and this is before I even purchased the place, when the Market Basket moved, I was saying in my head, I go, this plaza is done. Like, every place in there is going to die. Like, it's over. Like, just who are you going to get to replace the Market Basket in New England? They are New England, right? You can bring in a Shaw's, you can bring in another national brand, but like, people love the Market Basket. And then to tie into that, they had a complete walkout on a non-union crew. I'm like, they had an ownership change because of that. You don't have that type of buy-in. I mean, that is a MIT, you know, Harvard business case study for years to come.
Here's Ramthan reflecting on what it takes to run a small business.
It is, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. I can tell you that right now. I know a lot of people who are small business owners, friends who started out and changed careers kind of like I did. I know people who've, like when I was in the painting industry, a lot of mom and pop paint shops. I did deal with CertaPro Painters, which is a franchise. So I kind of got to see the franchise model and what they get to offer. But I just love it. I get up every morning and I've got so much energy and zeal. My staff comes in and they're just like, I don't understand how you do it. And I said, well, I'm a little bit nuts. What can I say?
To watch the entire interview, visit WestfordCAT.org. Now here's Patty Stocker with the PCA Artist Spotlight.
Patty Stocker here from WestfordCAT with a special series that focuses on regional artists that are scheduled to display their work at the Parish Center for the Arts Artist of the Month exhibitions. I recently spoke with Rick Lowe, a local ink and acrylic painter from Lowell, who was inspired by his love of nature and traditional brushstroke paintings, especially landscapes from China. I asked him about his painting with her locks.
It's a piece of paper that it's very rare because the person who used to make it passed away, and it's a special, a particular style they used to make that type of paper. So we had a few pieces. My wife actually worked with a paper selling company that had very rare Asian papers. She got me a few of them, and they're very expensive. So I was delaying and, you know, to paint on it because I was afraid that I would ruin it, you know, because once you start on a Chinese brush painting, you can, if it's ruined, you know. So I studied a certain type of painting for a while, and after a while I felt like, okay, I can try it. She was really motivating me to do it for the show, and so I finally did it. And what he used in the video that I was watching was very coarse brush, very rough. And so I was trying to figure out how can I get a brush similar to what he was using to use on that type of paper. And my wife has a very, very strong, beautiful black Greek Korean hair. So
lucky woman.
Yeah.
I have baby hair, so yeah, lucky woman.
Yeah, she has that a lot actually. So she has a lot of it, and she's always asking me to cut it. So when I cut it there was a lot of it, and I see, I don't want to just let this waste. So I decided to try and make a brush with it. So I made a brush with it. It actually was perfect for that type of painting. So I was able to get the strokes that I was looking for with it. So that's one of the reasons the name is with her locks, because I actually made the painting with her hair. So, and also there's a poem that she wrote, and we did it in characters. So I painted it in characters, and it's a play on words. So it's really a beautiful poem. So that's also on the painting with her locks.
Rick also creates aqua bonsai in living, fully contained, self-sustaining ecospheres.
They're like a fully self-sustained little ecosystem. I put these shrimp inside called upeula. They're from Hawaii, and they live 20 years. So you don't have to do anything to these little ecosystems, but top it off with fresh water when it evaporates. But other than that, the system should last 20 years or more. So it's a stress-free aquarium that you can keep without any mess. So I do those two.
To contact Rick Lowe regarding any information on his work, he can be reached at aquabonsai@yahoo.com. Rick will be exhibiting at the Parish Center for the Arts in the near future. Look to the PCA website for details. And look for more spotlights on PCA exhibitors right here at WestfordCAT.
That's it for now, Westford. We leave you with Bridges by Epic's Harvest Scarecrow Contest.